It has been probably about 2 months since I last checked in on this project. I had to put a pause on everything because I was working on my sister's wedding dress, but I am at a stopping point with that, and I have 30 minutes before my babysitter goes home. So I thought I would jump back into this because we are getting pretty close. It is mid-August, and I'm due at the end of October. So I need to get a move on with this project. So when I left off, I had draped this part of the pearl fabric, and now I need to go in and do that on this side and then do the draping this way. So yeah, let's do it. So I inadvertently am using the same draped pleat technique that I did with my sister's wedding dress. I designed this like months before I even talked to my sister about what her wedding dress plans were, so I just want to put that out there. Anyway, because I worked on my sister's wedding dress first, there's some things that I have learned from it, or that I am just really grateful I'm doing it differently this time. One thing is with Chloe's wedding dress, we didn't want to add a bunch of extra layers because it's August and it's hot. So we basically just had the draped pleated layer and then the underlayer, and that was it. And so if I went through and like hand stitched everything down and through this bottom layer, you would see it all on the underside, which is not like the biggest deal in the world, but I wanted it to look nice and clean. So I just kind of stitched only through this top layer, and because of that, it's not like the most structurally stable way of doing it. However, it is a wedding dress. She's not going to be like going crazy in it, so it was fine. For this one, I do have another layer going under this, so I get to stitch through the lining layer, which is really nice because then I can make just tiny little stitches sporadically, and then most of the stitching is going to be on the inside and you won't see it because the other lining layer is going to hide it all. So that's really nice. The other thing that I have learned is I feel like one of the things that was kind of not as structurally sound as I could have made it was I ran the stitches that were keeping the pleats down this way, because I wanted it to really define the waist. But I think because it was a corset construction, every time I cinched her waist in, it just pulled everything really tight. So I had to go in a couple times and redo the stitching. So this time, instead of going horizontally, I'm going vertically. And I'm hoping that will help because there won't be tension like pulling the strings this way and making the knots pop out and everything. So we'll see if that works. That's just kind of my like brainstorming, but it looks kind of like a hot mess right now, but it will look better once we get all the other fabric draped. Do I look like an absolute goddess?
Yes. Well,
Was that a real yes, or you're just saying that to make me happy? Here's my plan of attack for sewing this pearl layer on top. So as you can see, kind of, I know this looks like just a pile of fabric, but I have sewn the tulle layer to the lining, just the lining. So this right now is just kind of floating loose on the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pearl layer and sew it the same way I did this tool. So just sew it to the lining layer. And then I'm gonna come in and fold this over so it's a nice clean edge and hand stitch it to this outer layer. I don't know if that made sense because it looks like a big pile of fabric, but that's my plan. This is hopefully a better explanation of what I was doing. So here's the lining, and I've sewed the 2 layers onto the lining. So now I need to take this top outer shell of the bodice and roll it under and hand stitch it to this layer. I don't want to deal with either having to like pick all this off or whatever with the sewing machine, for the sewing machine to be able to go over all of this. I think it'll just be easier to hand sew it all in place. I have the bodice hand sewn to the skirt, so I just need to lace it up. And then is the tricky part of trying to hem a dress while it's on my 32-week pregnant body. But we're gonna make our very best effort because I think that's my only option, really. Which normally when I hem it, I just set the mannequin like to make sure the like hip part or wherever the skirt hits to the floor is the same measurements as mine. And then I hem it on the mannequin. But I have a massive belly. So if I set... Did you just fall off the bench? If I set the mannequin to like my waist height or wherever, I guess up here, high waist, it's not gonna be hemmed correctly because like it has to go over the bump. So I gotta figure that out. That's the only thing left, is hand sewing those and hemming it, and then the dress is done. Okay, so I think these pearls are gonna be to my benefit in this hemming situation because I can look in the mirror and see which pearl is hitting the floor where I want it, and then I have like a visual place for where I need to like cut. So I will do the top layer, the pearl layer first, and then once I have the pearl layer cut, then I can cut all the tulle underneath. This pearl, for example, is like hitting where I want it when I'm standing up. So I'm just gonna like keep an eye on this pearl and pin right there. And then I can put it on the dress form and cut where it's this pearl is level. She is hemmed. I don't think it is like the most professional hemming job that has ever been done, but I think it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna try her on and see what we think. I'm gonna call her done. I'm happy with her. It is Friday morning, which means I have the babysitter here today. I am currently outside because we're trying to potty train this little guy. I'm trying to get him to go potty before I get to work, but he doesn't seem all that interested. Today, the plan is, because I finished the dress, the plan is to work on the headpiece and the jewelry. And I ordered a bunch of stuff from Amazon. I don't know what is gonna work and what won't, but we're gonna just try it all and then either return what I don't use or just like save it for another project later, because I'm sure I could use it for something. So today's going to be about experimenting, which is always fun. Did you go potty? I probably didn't need to show you the potty. Did you go potty? Good boy, Manus. Good potty. I'm going to start recording even though these two are being loud and noisy because my battery is about to die on my camera. So hopefully you can hear me. But like I was saying earlier, I got packages in the mail from Amazon, so we're going to open them up and see what we've got, see if it'll work for what I need, all that fun stuff. I think this is the dress that I ordered for my daughter. Yes. Okay. So my plan for this is I ordered just like a very basic white dress, and then I'm gonna take all the scraps from my dress, the pearl fabric, and add it on to this so that we match. Gold zip ties, little flat backs, opal-ish. They're not real opal, but you know, hopefully they'll give the look of it. And then I'm pretty sure this is the headband I ordered because I figured I found one that has like moon and stars and stuff on it already. So rather than like buying a headband and buying moon and star charms and gluing them to the headband, why not, you know, start with something that's already like half done. Oh yeah, and it came with earrings, which I could use. I could either wear as earrings or use somewhere else. I feel like we're getting whiplash between like my real camera footage and my phone footage, but the battery just died. So phone it is for right now. I tried out some zip ties. I'm probably gonna do a few more. Guys, this is like completely new territory for me, so I have no idea what I'm doing. These like flop around a lot, so I'm gonna try to hot glue the back so that they stay in place. And then I don't like how they're like bending, so I also have my heat gun that I might try to like put some heat on them for a little bit and see if that will make them go more straight. I am getting a little bit of like a chemical smell, so maybe this isn't my like solution to not breathing in chemicals while pregnant, but it's probably better than like E6000, which takes forever to dry. Okay, I am like high-key shocked by how well this is turning out. I didn't think it was gonna look this good. There's probably like headpiece makers watching this right now who are like, no, that does not look good, Madeline. But for my very first attempt, it is actually looking, let me back up a little bit. It's looking very close to my design sketch. I need to add more stuff, obviously, probably some like bigger pieces to kind of even out. There's all these big charms right here. I want to kind of even it out up here and stuff. But I am very pleasantly surprised. I finished putting on this top layer of pearl tulle, and then as you can see, I had to unpick this little ruffle in order to put it on. So I just sewed on this side. I just put that back on. Now I need to reattach this other side, and then I have to add the same pearl fabric under the skirt. Okay, I have my 2 layers of the skirt, and each layer has 2 pieces, a front and a back. And you know, if you know anything about sewing, basic sewing says to sew up the side seams and then attach at the waist. But I'm kind of thinking that since it's gonna be under 3 layers of tulle, like, you're not gonna notice whether the side seams are attached or not. So I think I might just attach all the skirt pieces just at the waist. I'll pin it in place first to see how it looks, but I think that would like save me a significant amount of time. She is done.